Stormy statement. Jamie Dornan calls Dakota Johnson, Irreplaceable co-star, at the Venice Film Festival, where the most famous names in the world of cinema gather. Jamie Dornan appeared to promote his new art film, Shadows in Florence. But what stunned the media was not the film. It was a shocking global statement. In a live interview with Variety, when asked about co-stars who left their mark on his career, Jamie Dornan did not hesitate to say, "I've worked with many great actresses. But if there is one thing I'm sure of, no one can act better than Dakota Johnson when playing with me." The interviewer was stunned. The entire team behind the camera held their breath. Jamie smiled, calmly as if he had just said the most obvious thing in the world. A statement Hollywood shakes. Immediately after the statement, Hollywood shook. Newspapers such as Deadline, The Hollywood Reporter, Vanity Fair, simultaneously headlined, "Jamie Dornan, Dakota Johnson is an irreplaceable co-star. What really happened behind the scenes of 50 Shades?" The untold story of the secret relationship between Dornan and Johnson. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram exploded. The hashtag Jamie Dakota reached the top 1 trending worldwide in less than 6 hours. Fans reshared a series of behind-the-scenes videos, old interviews, and affectionate looks between the two that they had overlooked. Fans shouted, "We knew it. He finally said it." Years of denial. From 2015 to 2018, Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson were the most famous movie couple in the world with the 50 Shades series. Although audiences clearly felt the strong chemistry between the two, both Jamie and Dakota denied any relationship outside of work. In many interviews, they affirmed, "We are just good friends," but the unspoken expressions, the unconscious handshakes, or the eyes that made viewers melt on the red carpet, all made people believe that there was something deeper being hidden. Behind the scenes, what never aired. A former assistant who worked on the filming of 50 Shades Freed shared with the press after Jamie's statement. "I used to see Jamie and Dakota sitting on set for hours just analyzing the emotions of their characters. But I believe they were not just acting. There was a moment when they were no longer Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele, they were themselves, truly drawn to each other." A member of the lighting crew said, "We used to joke, these two don't need dialogue, just looking at each other is enough to burn up the screen." Why has Jamie been silent all these years? In a podcast released after the festival, Jamie Dornan explained why he kept quiet about Dakota for nearly a decade. "At that time, I was a married man. Dakota was living her own life. There was respect between us, not just for each other but for everyone around us." He paused for a few seconds, then said slowly, "But feelings don't always need to be named. They just exist. And Dakota, she made me a better actor. A better person." Dakota Johnson's reaction. Shortly after Jamie's announcement, Dakota appeared at a fashion event in Paris. Reporters surrounded her, asking her about Jamie Dornan's shocking statement. Dakota, in a deep red satin dress, just smiled slightly and replied, "I think Jamie just said something the whole world has always known, but never heard." An answer that made the whole social network explode. Reunion, on a stage without a script. A month later, Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson appeared together for the first time in many years at the 2025 BAFTA Awards, where they were invited to announce the Best Actor, Actress category. When they stepped on stage, the audience stood up and applauded, not for the award, but for them. Dakota turned to Jamie and whispered into the microphone, "Ready to do it again?" Jamie replied, without hesitation, "Only if you're the co-star." The whole room exploded. Behind every success, one man. In an internal conversation recorded by Netflix, Jamie shared something that not many people know. "After every difficult scene, I look at Dakota to make sure I get it right. We don't need many words, just eyes. There are emotions that only she can awaken in me, both when acting and when being myself." He concluded, "Hollywood can create hundreds of on-screen couples, but I can guarantee, no one can act with me better than Dakota Johnson. And I say that not just for the sake of career, but for the sake of heart. What are they to each other?" Fans ask, so, are they in love? Were they ever in love? Or are they still in love? The answer has never been officially confirmed. But Jamie once said on a talk show, "Love doesn't always have to start or end with a relationship. Sometimes, it's just about meeting the right person at the right time, and keeping them in your heart forever." Quote,